My first clip for this week is... it really made me laugh. It's a load of Athletic Club Bilbao fans in Seville for the Copa del Rey final, serenading a couple who've just got married. So this couple are in a town square in Seville. They've been planning this special day. Haven't realised, maybe they had realised, I don't know, that the Copa del Rey, the sort of Spanish version of the FA Cup final, was going to be that day. There must be a load of Athletic fans in the square having a drink before the game, which they won. The couple come out of the church or the cathedral, whatever it is, and thousands of people start singing about them.
Must be 20,000 people.
Yeah. And the couple love it and start bouncing up and down. It is so funny. And something similar happened in France at Euro 2016 with a lot of Wales fans, because we were in Bordeaux, outside the Charles Dickens pub where a lot of the Wales fans were going.
Okay.
And a couple were married and they were walking down... was it? I can't remember if it was a seafront or it was just by the river, and they were going to have their photos taken, and about 200 Wales fans did a guard of honour for them, and it was really nice. And the thing with crowds, I completely understand, especially if you're a woman or if you're on your own, how big crowds of football fans singing and jumping up and down can be intimidating and not fun. I completely get that. And when I was a bit younger, I thought, but it's always fun. But I understand now that obviously it isn't always fun. But this is completely good-natured. And because if it was only one of them jumping up and down, one of the married couple, I would think, oh, the other one's not into this. But because they're both into it, you're like, no, that's just great. I love it. And it really, really made me laugh.
Well, when I first watched, I thought they must have planned this around, but you can't plan it around a cup final, because you don't know who's going to be in a final of a cup final.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's just just by happenstance. But this has been filmed on a phone from a window above it. But like I said, there must be 20,000 people in that square.
Yeah. Because the away trip I would want us to go to is Athletic Bilbao versus Real Sociedad in the Basque Derby.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because what fascinates me about that derby is Real Sociedad, who were managed by John Toshak, of course. He won the Copa del Rey with them.
Yes.
Had a Basque-only player policy.
Can't bring in players
until about... I think John Aldridge was the first.
I was going to say, yes.
In about 1989, 90 maybe, was about the first.
I think there was Aldridge and someone else at the same time.
Daniel Atkinson?
Yes, good call. Yeah.
Was the first non-Basque players to play for Sociedad. Bilbao still have that policy in place, incredibly. Now, fascinatingly, with Bilbao, it's worked. They are Spain's third most successful team. They've won 8.
How is that not a restriction of trade?
It probably is, but they're just tough. The club has decided that.
So, but the thing, right? We just only 2 seconds, Hal. Is there will be some sort of European rule why that can't happen?
Oh, there'll be a European rule, but the
Europeans don't give a monkey, so I love it.
But if you're running the club and you don't want to bring in any people from outside the Basque Country, there's literally nothing to stop you doing that, is there?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not like I want to play for you, and I'm going there, and you're stopping me from playing because you've got to employ me. So you're just not going to employ me. It's fine.
Yeah. So they've won 8 La Ligas and they've won 24 Copa del Reys. Admittedly, in the modern football economy, they're not as successful as they used to be. So then prior to a couple of weeks ago when they won the Copa del Rey, they hadn't won anything since 83, 84.
But that same policy still.
Yeah, so they were very, very successful until the early 80s. And now, obviously, because football is a global marketplace, they can't compete with Madrid and they can't compete with Barcelona. Yeah, but I did some filming in the Basque Country.
Yeah, you did. The S4C thing, was it?
Fix the washing machine for S4C.
And the Basque language was banned under Franco. and Basque identity was effectively banned under Franco. You couldn't so identify as a Basque person.
Yeah.
So then when he died, less than a year later, the Basque Derby happened, and the captain of Real Sociedad thought, fuck this. Well, this is the Basque Derby. We're the two Basque clubs. I want to have the Basque flag at this game. And that was illegal, right? So you couldn't buy them anywhere. So we got his sister to make one.
Super.
Yeah. Love it.
And it was a really dangerous thing to do, to make a Basque flag.
Sorry.
It is a good flag.
It was a really good flag.
It's a really good flag. So she made one, and he smuggled it into the ground in his kit bag, and then he told his players.
Must have gone off when he got that out.
Yeah, well, he told the Sociedad players. He said, "Listen, I would love to walk out prior to kick-off, holding this up with the Athletic players. Are you up for it?" And they all said, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it."
Lads.
So then he went into the Athletic Bilbao dressing room and said, "If any one of you doesn't want to do this, we won't do it, because it's so dodgy. He's only been dead 6 months. I completely understand if you think it's too dangerous. I accept that, but I've had it made." And they went, "No, fuck it, let's do it." So they hadn't told anyone, so they walk out
This should be
prior to the game
should.
in the sort of mid-70s. And they're holding up the flag. Now there's 50,000 people at the ground. The coppers, the police know they've broken the law, but they realise that if they do anything about it and take the flag off the players, there's going to be a mass riot, and there's not enough police there to quell a disturbance that involves 50,000 people. So they've just got to let them do it. And then within a year, the law changed, and you could speak Basque in the street and stuff. So I talked to a woman, a Basque speaker and a Welsh speaker, 'cause she's interested in minority languages.
Amazing.
They would be punished at school for speaking Basque, and you had neighbours grassing you up for speaking it, and all that kind of thing. So the Athletic Bilbao Real Sociedad derby is a really friendly one,
Right.
because it's all about Basque identity. So I'm really, and because when Toshak managed Sociedad, he said it's like rehearsing for the Wales job, because you can only use players from the Basque Country, which isn't a particularly big region.
It's like you got a really small blanket, and either your feet are cold because you pull it up to warm up your top, or you get your feet warm and then your top's cold. It's always like that. It is. I used to John, just such bullshit. I love them.
Superb.
Absolute nonsense.
For that
he
couple
played,
as well,
He played a
though.
game against them as well, didn't he?
Go on, mate.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and Giggs scored. Yeah.
Wasn't international against the Basque Country.
Yeah.
Oh, class. I didn't know that.
Just because Tosh could then hang out with all his old mates.
Wish I'd gone to that. Because
imagine that.
Giggs
Wales
scored an
against Basque.
absolute scream. He dribbles past
it's a
5 or 6
great one.
players. Yeah.
Yeah, really good goal.
You imagine, so we got married on Paddy's Day, but it was also the last day of the Six Nations.
Okay.
Like I've mentioned that on you before. But when you can get, because all my mates are, no, the vast majority of my mates are through rugby and through sport, and, in some shape or another.
Yeah.
So then to have that game at the wedding, which just made a really good day even better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Wales won, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
So for this couple here, you get married to the person that you love, in a place that you love, and then suddenly there's 20,000 people that I assume are from the football team that you love,
Yes. Just
all
chanting
singing
at
for you.
Just chanting. There's
Also,
not enough chanting at
It
weddings.
takes a bit of beating, doesn't it?
talk about making an already memorable day even more memorable.
Yeah,
Got any photos?
Oh
of you
yeah, and then we
today?
left the church and 20,000 people sang for us.
amazing.
And you just know that if that had been in the UK, it would have been
filth.
initially friendly, and then
Yes.
the chanting would have been awful.
Yes, or the
Couple of
kind of
cheers
stuff
stuck in the
that
throat.
about Posh Spice and Beckham. That sort of chanting.
It's like when it's
Straight away.
It's so funny.
Fingering would be mentioned at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
Bums the works.
It's like when Max Rushton, who presents Cardiff Football Weekly and Talk Sport, when he got married, and he just tweeted a nice picture of him and his wife on their wedding day, because obviously a lot of football fans follow him. The responses were unreal.
Horrific.
Yeah.
From my memory.
Make sure you do up the shitter, Max. Come on, mate.
Straight away.
He's only been married an hour.
You're the best man, mate.
Save it for the speech.
Boring. You said that at the church.
Boring.
Yeah. I also, by the way, I just love Southern Europe. Spain and Italy, and just especially when it's been so dreary recently weather-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit of sunshine, bit of sun-dried tomato.
Wales is getting wetter.
Oh, 100%. Without boring people, yeah. But
Yeah.
Without boring people.
Well, it was. The February was twice the average rainfall. It was the wettest ever on record.
Yeah?
I took my running trainers with me when I was in Carmarthen.
Yes.
Having been every day in London,
Yeah.
and it just pissed down. And I thought, I'm not going in this.
I'm not doing that.
Like proper torrential rain.
I had genuinely ducks in my garden the other day. I took a photograph. I was staggered.
Yeah, the
My
amount of
garden
Tony
is so-
Soprano replies were great, by the way.
My garden is so wet.
Yeah.
There were fucking ducks in it.
That's amazing. I had the reverse experience on the weekend because I went to Milan to run a marathon, and it was boiling. And it was also, Mike, what you would want a road marathon to be. The Italians had the same approach. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
No.
There was one bit of it that went down a dual carriageway where they'd shut off a lane, I'll be honest.
Oh my God.
And then
Glass.
Beep, beep, beep.
there was another bit in the middle of the city centre. We're coming back in, round about, I don't know, it's about 30k into this, yeah? And came to this set of traffic lights, at which point a policeman stopped the race that I was involved in, and some cars just came across the road.
Oh my
Carried on, going, beep, 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 boop, neater, neater, and then waved us through. A minute and a half of just standing still. Unbelievable.
Jogging on the spot.
I was amazed, yeah, exactly, yeah, doing
Like
that.
a traffic light on a jog.
Yes, like when you're waiting for the lights to change, just jogging up and down like it's going to make any difference to your performance. But my favourite guy who I met during the marathon, you have pace setters, yeah? So you get guys who are like, I don't know, 4 hours 30, and it's their job to kind of make sure that people hit their target time. And normally they hold up these sort of big poles with the numbers on. But for this one, they had balloons tied to their waists. And I thought, oh, that's quite a good idea, that is, because, you know, it's not going to restrict their running. And I was kind of... I only knew I was doing this marathon with about 5 weeks' notice. So I'm not in good shape.
None of us knew you were doing it.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I only knew when I saw you at the finish line.
So I kind of like, right, okay, I'll just see how fast I can go. So 10-minute mile pace and just see what happens. And then was with this group who'd started behind me, but they were 4.5 hour pace. So I was like, okay, so I'm not going to make 4.5, but I'll run with these for a bit. It'll be fine. And I was running with this guy, and he got to about 35k. And he's been looking at his watch for the last K, this pace setter. And he just looks at me and he goes, we're not going to make it. I went, what do you mean? He went, I have messed up. Bursts his balloon, walks off the course. The best thing that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, just literally burst his balloon, walked off, queuing for a tram. Fuck it.
Oh,
That's so funny.
It's so, there's about 30
very
people
Italian
around
too,
him just going... What happened there? I think
Oh
you fucked up,
my
lads.
God.
It's so good. Popped it, gone. Not
Luigi,
interested.
are you the pace setter? No.
What are you talking about? No, I've just been
thought
waiting for this
so.
tram for half an hour. What are you guys up to?
Oh, man.
Amazing. Made me very happy. But thank you to people who've donated. I did it for Cancer Research Wales, so thank you very much. I mean, I did it so I could run in Milan, I'll be honest.